I'm Mixer Giant, and this is a top 10 Simpsons episode that should get the simpflex treatment. Simpflex is an out-of-continuity episode of The Simpsons that spoofs Netflix and the Pacific Soul from Netflix. It's how them doing a serious Flanders, which is a really good episode, and one of their best episodes in years at The Simpsons. It showed The Simpsons could still surprise us, and it also showed things that were surprising because The Simpsons was on for so long. And because of them not treating the main villain as a joke and them actually doing jokes about how evil he was. We have gotten good episodes of The Simpsons before, and we have seen proof that The Simpsons is still good, but this was definitive proof that The Simpsons is still good. And it was good to get a new kind of out-of-continuity stories and things where they can spoof more than one thing at a time. And for them spoofing something like Netflix, specifically. I'm not saying they should do exactly the same, just me saying how they can do other spoofs at simpflex. And thinks it would be good them spoofing for an out-of-continuity story like simpflex. It would be good them doing any of them because it just been good getting an out-of-continuity story. And I'm going to be leaving those hashtag standwithanimation, hashtag indieanimation, hashtag originalcontent, hashtag actioncartoons, hashtags in the description down below. Also, you can do them too, because it is because of social media is why us being able to do this, and social media is how us going to do this, as for them knowing that we like animation and them knowing us wanting to see more of it. So us helping them and supporting them in the end to help them do it and to help them do more of it. To show there are people with good ideas out there, them doing it better than the big evil companies. To show the fans knowing better than the big evil companies about it. And you knowing how to do good animation, so you knowing how to support it good. Number 10, The Electric State. Some good YouTube channels and indie animation so you know it's good because of it being on YouTube and them being able to take advantage of it being on YouTube.
Stay in. Ahoy, hoy.
Not quite, church chum. But another friend of yours is on the line.
Flanders, you gotta save me. This guy's way too weird not to be dangerous. He doesn't even look at his phone when he's bored. He's not human, I tell you.
The last thing I said to Homer was that he was the most selfish man in the world. Do you think I should call the police?
Oh no. If she calls the police, Homer's dead. If I want to save his life, I have to tell a lie.
Why are you dipping my face in dough? Why are you kneading my face into an O shape? Why are you pushing my face toward the deep fryer?
Oh, I see. Clever.
This is totally... Oh God, my God, what the hell happened? Oh, Mafia guys? Headless dude, oh, Disco Man! We need some water. Oh, his face is a donut! That is so messed up!
Number 10, Dugo. Dugo was a terrible movie, and the American version was even worse. But The Simpsons could do it good, and they can actually do jokes about how bad the movie was, and that they actually managed to make this movie good. Then, if you go with the British version, and for them spoofing it, it would still be good. And there is some good things in it, like a haunted carousel. You just leading into the haunted carousel part and the ending of how them fixing it. And them undoing everything from the haunted carousel in the end. And it would also be nice if the Simpsons characters were the characters from the movie. Santa still help it being the dog, Lisa being the girl, and Patty and Selma being the hot and cold guys. Which would make this story make sense for the Simpsons. Number 9, The Bee Movie. I don't know why everyone hates the Bee Movie so much. I actually think it's really good. I mean, it is like a Disney movie, but for DreamWorks with bees specifically. I mean, it does all the same things as a Pixar movie, and it is good showing how bees are good. And I think this is another good thing that the actor that played Jerry Seinfeld did. And another good thing you can say he did. So it would be good the Simpsons doing it to prove how good it is. Also using it to make fun of Disney and DreamWorks. Number 8, Space Chimps. I actually think Space Chimps is actually a really good movie, so it would be good the Simpsons showing how good of a movie it is. I mean, it's definitely a better Monkeys in Space ace movie than Rocket Monkeys as the monkeys in space. So, Bart and Homer, for example, would love have to do monkeys in space. Either them going along with the monkeys or them being the monkeys. Thus, I thought the alien ally was actually really good in the movie, and it was also a good alien world they did, and they did a good job with the monkeys, and I think they did an even better job in the sequel because of what they did with the monkeys there. So it would be good with the Simpsons characters, for example. Number 7, a monster in Paris. A monster in Paris would be perfect with you either putting in the Simpsons in Paris or you putting it in Springfield. Marge already loves Paris. And they have done Springfield in Paris before. And this would be perfect for Lisa's storyline because of her already being a music fan. And it would be good with the Simpsons animals being the monster, even Mo being a monster in the story, and it being with Marge. So it is just a good story in general with a monster proving him not being a monster in Paris. Number 7, and My Freaky Family. My Freaky Family would be perfect for The Simpsons because you can just make the Freaky Family a The Simpsons family. Homer and Marge would obviously be good as the parents, and Bart would obviously be good as the zombie, a big brother, because of him already liking things like zombies, and because of him already doing pranks like that. And Lisa would be perfect as the little sister who wants to find out magic because Lisa already likes magic in the main show, and because of her already having a certain personality to the little sister in the movie. You can just make the king Marge's barber and him not approving of Homer and Marge's relationship but then him being okay with it in the end, and Lisa managing to defeat the main villain in the movie, which would be Mr. Burns. You would also make it Lisa already knowing magic and her just finding out magic even more from her family. And Lisa already does music, so you would just use her using her magic and her saxophone to defeat the villain in the end and bring peace to the kingdom by them using it together. Then it would end with her walking out with her friends. Lisa ruling over the kingdom and her reuniting with her grandpa on her mother's side. Number 6, a pirate spoof. The Simpsons has spoofed pirates before, but this time you would spoof pirates straight up. And also, you doing pirates, it's spoof for a whole episode. With you doing the Simpsons family as pirates, and Homer could even be Blackbeard. Number 5, a cowboy spoof. The Simpsons have spoofed cowboys before, but it would be good for the rich Texan if you're doing it in Texas at cowboy time. And it being for the whole episode, and with it actually following a cowboy plot, not just them being at a cowboy place. It would be nice seeing the rich Texan as more than just a spoof character. Number 3, a fantasy spoof. Simpsons has already spoofed fantasy before, but that was mainly a spoof on Game of Thrones. So they can spoof other fantasy stuff up in this one while still spoofing Game of Thrones. Like with the Simpsons family being a family of knights fighting against dragons while also riding on dragons at this one. And with it being more inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. And also, think of the beer spoof of Game of Thrones and from when Homer became Duffman. And think about them spoofing that but for a whole episode. So they could spoof fantasy in general instead of spoofing one specific thing. So think about them spoofing Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and the other fantasy things in this episode. Thus, them doing it in a different way, like them trying to take over a kingdom, or them winning a war against another kingdom, would be a good way to do an original fantasy spoof. Number 2, Star Wars. And to make it more original, they would focus on the whole part of Star Wars. And it's not just the original movies, but Star Wars Rebels and Lego Star Wars Salvage too. With them also making fun of how bad the Star Wars movies got because of Disney ruining them and then making them a bigot to the other side. This way, you're doing the obvious Star Wars spoof, but you're also being more original with how you're spoofing it. And The Simpsons has spoofed Star Wars before, but this time they'd be straight up spoofing it and for a whole episode. And it would be better than the Disney Plus sorts because as it wouldn't be focused on a baby little kid like Maggie, so it wouldn't be ruined by you focusing on something like Star Wars with a baby little kid like Maggie. And you also being able to stick to the original Star Wars story better, and you're also doing a better job spoofing it. And you would also get more time to it and be able to focus on just that too, because of it being for a full episode. it not just being for a specific part of the episode. And this would also be a good episode with Comic Book Guy.
It tastes like hot
And also it would be a good episode for his wife Comic Book Girl.
tastes like hot.
And it would also be good for Bart and Lisa in this episode too. And you can also make fun of the fact that they simply just did the original Star Wars movies again and in the sequels, and with them, and you also making fun of the fact that they undid all the good things that happened to the characters in the sequels. They should have just left the original Star Wars sequels alone, and that they shouldn't have just did them all over again. You also make fun of the fact that Disney did an expensive Star Wars hotel, and using it to make fun of Disneyland because of Disney kicking off a bunch of lemons to make a theme park there. You're also doing a joke about how bad Disney is and them being a big evil company. Before we review our top pick, here's a few honorable mentions.
You are. I just want to go home.
Home? Home doesn't exist anymore because of you!
The whole world on a
Number 1, a spoof on gangsters specifically in general. You doing a straight up spoof on Breaking Bad and with Flanders being Walter White, and a straight up spoof on the movie that Fat Tony is based on, and of Scarface and The Godfather, but using Fat Tony good.
If another outfit is moving in on my town, then appropriate violence will be taken.
With you also doing a straight up spoof in general, on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, with Homer trying to help solve Itchy, Scratchy, and Pooch's case of who framed them, with Mr. Burns being Judge Doom and them defeating him in the end, and with Homer being the detective in it. This way you would spoof all the best gangster movies and you spoofing noir in general. Do you agree with that top 10 list?
Yes!
Tell me what other videos you want me to do.